Hello, my dear students. So, today I am going to discuss the next part of the chapter Human Geography, Nature and Scope. Yesterday I have discussed about the introduction of human geography, that how human geography came into existence. Okay, what is the subject matter of human geography? What human geography tries to explain. So, today I am going to discuss the next part, that is naturalization of human or environmental determinism. Actually, you can say these are the three different stages, okay, of technological innovation, you can say. Like human beings has shifted from different stages, isn't it? In the earlier days, human beings were primitive in nature. Okay, then human beings started developing the technology, and now we developed human beings are there with full technology, you can say. Okay, so today my discussion will be on naturalization of human or environmental determinism. So let us proceed. We human beings, we interact with our physical environment with the help of technology. Like yesterday I said, in my previous class I said that the subject matter of human geography is to study the physical environment and its relationship with the human beings. Okay, so here what we come to know, that we human beings, we interact our physical environment. How? With the help of the technology. Okay, and it is not important that what we are producing or what we are creating actually, but it is important with what important tools and techniques we are producing such things, or we are creating such things. For example, we are extracting the minerals we find it in the environment, physical environment, it's fine, but the question is what we are producing, not that, but with what level of technological innovation, or with what tools and techniques we are extracting this resources or the minerals and all. Okay, so this technological development, it indicates the level of cultural development of the human society. Okay, a human society will be considered more culturally developed if they are technologically developed. For example, you will be seeing there are still many countries in the world which are lagging behind in terms of technological innovations. Okay, and that countries are said to be culturally less developed, whereas the countries which are highly developed, they have already developed their technology. Okay, even you can see some primitive tribes are there, okay, who still are not using the present technologies. Okay, these are like, there are many tribes in different parts of our of the world actually. Even in India also, in Andaman and Nicobar Island, you can see some of the oldest tribes are there, okay, which are totally unaware about the present technological innovations. So we human beings were able to develop technology after better understanding of the natural laws. Okay, and how do we develop the technology? We develop the technology by understanding the natural laws, by understanding the natural forces and all. Okay, it is we human beings who first interacted with the physical environment of the nature. We understood the nature and then we started creating technology. Okay, here are the three examples to prove that understanding of the nature is very important to develop technology. For example, in the Stone Age period, we have studied that the early human beings, they used to they discovered fire by rubbing the stones and all. Okay, that is the concept of friction, from where the concept of friction came into emergence actually. Similarly, by understanding the secrets of DNA and genetics, it has helped us in conquering many diseases, like the scientists and all. Okay, they first started understanding the DNAs and the genetics and all. Okay, which are also natural, you can say. Okay, and after better understanding of this DNA and the genetics, people started, or the scientists started developing many new medicines and all, which helps us conquer many diseases. Similarly, we use the law of aerodynamics to develop faster planes by seeing the birds fly. Okay, many people, okay, they had a query in their mind that how they are flying and all, and they discovered the law of aerodynamics, and which ultimately led to the development of the faster planes. Okay, so here you can see that these three examples has been put forward, okay, to help you understand that understanding of the nature is extremely important to develop technology. If we don't understand the nature properly, technological development is not possible. Okay, and on the other hand, after technology is being developed, this technology helps to loosen the shackles of the environment, okay, on human beings. like the environment, you can say the environment or the nature is totally packed up with different kinds of things which we are unaware about. So with the help of technology only, what we are doing, we are proceeding towards the nature. Okay, we are extracting different kinds of, we are unfolding the untruth, we are unfolding the unknown facts, okay, with the help of technology only. And this is why it is said that technology loosens the shackles of environment on human beings. Now the question is, okay, but during the early period of this interaction, human and physical environment, okay, during the early stage of this interaction between the natural environment and the humans, okay, at that time the human beings were greatly influenced by the natural environment, or you can say the human beings were influenced by the nature. The human beings used to totally depend on the nature, okay. They did not have any technological development at that period of time. They used to fear the nature, they used to depend on the nature for everything, for food, shelter, everything. In the earlier period, people used to depend on the plants and the trees for gathering fruits and all. They used to hunt, okay, go for hunting and all. They used to kill the animals, they used to feed on it, they used to take out the skin of the animal, and they used to use it as their clothes and all, okay. So at that time the nature was very, like you can say, powerful for the human being, because human beings did not have any technology, okay. And this is why it is said that human beings adapted to the dictates of the nature. And this is why this is so, because the level of technology was very low and the stage of human social development was at its primitive stage. The social development of the human beings were very less in its primitive stage. And such kind of interaction between the primitive human society and the strong force of nature is termed as environmental determinism. So you can understand here what is environmental determinism actually. Environmental determinism is actually the condition, or you can say the primitive situation when everything, every aspects of the human life were controlled by the nature. Okay, human beings used to worship the nature, okay, to protect them. Okay, human beings used to worship the nature for food. Human beings used to worship the nature to protect them from the natural calamities and all. Even now also you will be seeing some like primitive tribes are there. They still, okay, they worship the nature. Even in among various religions also there are some rituals, okay, which are being followed to please the nature. Okay, so such kind of interaction between the primitive human society and the strong force of nature is termed as environmental determinism or naturalization of humans. Why naturalization of human? Because at that time the human beings were naturalized, okay, the human beings were ruled by the nature. That is why it is known as naturalization of humans. Now see, at that stage of very low technological development, we imagine the presence of a naturalized human. Human beings were totally naturalized, who listened to the nature and was afraid of its fury and worshipped it. And the human beings, they listened to the nature, okay, they were very afraid of the fury of the nature and they used to worship it. In the book, there's the first chapter, nature, human geography, nature and scope. There's a story given about Benda. If you go through it, you will understand that Benda is a boy of a very of a forest village actually. Okay, he depends on the forest for collecting the foods and all everything. Okay, and he knows everything about the nature. Okay, so if you read that story, you will be able to understand that how the primitive society or the primitive human lives were totally controlled by the nature. And there is a direct dependence of human beings on the nature for resources to sustain them. And at that primitive period, the human beings were totally dependent on the nature for resources which used to sustain them. And this is why the physical environment, okay, or the nature for such kind of primitive human society was considered as the mother nature. They used to worship the nature as mother. Okay, such a situation where humans were dictated by nature were naturalized and is known as naturalization of human or environmental determinism. So such a primitive situation where the every aspect of the human beings were dictated by the nature and they were naturalized is known as naturalization of humans or environmental determinism. Okay, so this is the concept of naturalization of human or environmental determinism actually. It shows that whatever technology we have we have developed and all, it is all because of better understanding of the nature and all. Okay, because we human beings were totally dependent on the nature, we knew everything about the nature. Okay, and it helps us acquiring some knowledge, and ultimately which led to the development of technology. Okay, so this is what about environmental determinism or naturalization of human. But there is also another stage which is also known as humanization of nature, the opposite one. Okay, or possibilism, that we are going to discuss in our next class. Thank you everyone.